Hey everyone, you're listening to the Unfinished Projects podcast. I'm Amy. I just want to wish you guys a happy holidays. I believe this episode will be coming out around the time of Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. Cheers and cheers to good health, good wealth, good wealth, good happiness. That's not a thing, but good wealth, good health, happiness, joy, abundance, safety, security. Cheers. Anyway, yeah, and also this Buttercup Media Club mug is for sale in my Etsy shop. You could check the link probably in the description. It's also at I Don't Have a Niche, my Etsy shop. I have the Unfinished Projects podcast mugs there, in addition to the Buttercup Media Club mugs and a couple of cool t shirts. Anyway, yeah, so today's episode we have comedian Arielle Dundas on, and we chat about unfinished things, but also in an accepting way. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy little bit about my day today. Currently battling my quarterly sinus infection. It's not the Rona. I took the Rona quiz. The quiz. Are they calling it the quiz? They do not call it the Rona quiz. I believe it's a COVID test. Very official, quiz. I like, it's more like a pop quiz. It's very like on the spot, like, well, I guess we're sick today. Cool. Didn't plan this. It wasn't scheduled, and I didn't study for it. Therefore, wait, Rona pop quiz. That's what it's like. It's like a pop to your nostrils too. Swirl the Q-tip around 5 times in the right. Swirl it to the left 5 times. Doing like, the waltz with my nostrils to get this diagnosis. But I'm fine. I came back negative, thankfully. So that is nice. But yeah, quarterly sinus infections. It's like, why does the body need them? I once heard that, oh, your body getting sick is your body's way of telling you to rest. I have to say, that's passive aggressive, body, right? Like, dude, no, no. We don't need to be reminded to rest this way, okay? Jeez, I mean, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I don't want a computer chip in me. I'm like, put a computer chip in me. I want an LSD, not an LSD, LCD. That's quite different. LSD. LCD. I actually pretended, I thought about, anyway, put an LCD screen on my arm so a check engine light could pop up to be like, and then that could be the warning to rest. And then if you continue to live hard, recklessly, then let your body shut down. Let it putt putt on the side of the road. So I don't think it's as spiritual as some people may say. Oh, you getting sick is your body's way of telling you to rest. Maybe it is, but also, ah, come on. Where's the check engine light for the body already, right? Come on. Progress. We can have billionaires go up and down to the moon like it's they're waiting in line at the scrambler, at the boardwalk. We got billionaires doing that up and down, turn around, hey, let's go in the scream machine. You know what? No, I'm a billionaire. Forget the scream machine. Let's go into space and break the atmosphere. How about that? Hey, dude, come on, man. Just go to Six Flags. Go to Six Flags if you want a little bit of joy, a little bit of adrenaline. Jeez. We got some of the tallest roller coasters over at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. So billionaires need to go to more amusement parks and less spaceship shuttles. Like, come on. Anyway, I'm all about progress. I'm all about discovering what else is outside of Earth. But yeah, it's just funny, just their little space ride. Hey guys, you want to go up to space for like 15 seconds? All right, man. No, dude. Anyway, where was I in this tangent? Oh yeah, so like if we can do that, just go up and down in space, up and down. No, let's get a check engine light technology chip. I don't care. We'll have people. If that was invented, there would be a lot of conspiracy theories. Oh my God. Me, I'm just like, dude, this is great. Check engine light. Come on. I don't want my body to shut down. Anyway, happy holidays. Changing the subject. Sending good health. Sending good wealth to you. I hope your favorite aunt puts a scratch off lottery ticket in your stocking and you win the jackpot. So, yeah, cheers, everybody. Good things are going to come this year, 2022. I know everybody always says that, but why not believe it, right? Why not? Hey, best year. Woo. Okay. All right. Let's believe it. All right, guys. I'm going to jet. Here's the episode. Episode, I think, 10. Yeah. All right. Cool. Bye.
You're listening to the Unfinished Projects podcast with your host, Amy Chance. And now for the show.
Oh my goodness, gotta love it. I just spilt a bunch of water, but I'm doing one. Welcome to the Unfinished Projects podcast, where rejected ideas are accepted. Today, I have comedian Arielle Dundas. What's up, Arielle?
Hi, greetings from Amsterdam. Actually, hi.
That is so cool. I've always wanted to go to Amsterdam. So, wait, so you lived in Amsterdam previously?
Yeah. So I moved to the Netherlands when I was 8 because of my father's job, and it was supposed to be for 2 years. And they still live here, and I had been going back and forth between New York and Amsterdam for a while. And then I decided to move to New York in January of 2020.
Oh my God, the timing couldn't be
Yes.
the weirdest.
Yeah. It's been everybody's had their issues,
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Um,
I ended up moving in a studio apartment. I moved to a new apartment January 15th. And I was like, it was super small, but I was like, it won't matter because I'm never going to be in there. And then fast forward, the pandemic happens, and it's like everybody's going to the Hamptons, and I'm stuck in this bad living situation, living like a hamster or like a guinea pig or something in a little thing.
yeah.
Anyway, so that's so cool. Were you in the military? Your dad in the military?
My dad was in the Air Force, yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in a military town in New Jersey. It's part of the super base. So
Okay.
military kids, I've always like BFFs.
Yeah. It's a weird sort of thing that exists, I guess.
Do you feel like it definitely, I think with my friends moving every 2 years, I think it shaped my personality a little bit. So for you as the one moving, I bet
Right.
you it kind of
So
shaped.
that was also interesting too, because so before I moved to the Netherlands, I was moving like every 2 years, and that was like hard but also normal because like I was like living on bases and stuff. And then actually, so my dad worked in the Air Force, but there's one base. I think it's technically not a base, but it is. I don't. Legal scholars don't come at me but it's in the south of the Netherlands, which is not where I grew up, near The Hague. So we went to like an international school, but people would move. So that was like a combination of diplomats and then also like a lot of oil brats.
Okay.
Also, because the Dutch royal family like owns Shell. It's called, the full name of Shell is Dutch Royal Shell. So,
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not like the biggest fan of oil and or monarchy, but yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just visiting my old haunts and stuff, and doing admin. And that's
cool.
why I'm in Amsterdam. So our original appointment. I fell asleep during, even though I think it was at like
No,
6. But I mean, it was
worry.
midnight.
Don't worry about it. So wait, what time is it by you right now?
It's 6:00.
Oh my PM? Like,
Yeah.
God, I know geography and time. I'm like,
I mean, it's time. It's also like, yeah. Yeah.
oh my God.
You'd think you get used to it, but it's still kind of like weird.
Oh, I mean, heck, even flying to LA, my whole body is confused like for 3 hours. So I can't imagine. Oh my God. So that's nice. You're going to be able to spend the holidays with your family, and you're there. Oh, and yeah, that's so cool. All right. Well, shall we talk about unfinished projects?
Sure.
Now, time to talk about unfinished projects.
And the clock has started.
I have ADHD, so this is like very hard. Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
Funny that you want to talk about unfinished projects. So I have a lot, but also in the back of my head there are a lot that I think. Oh, but eventually it doesn't feel like I've like fully walked away from anything.
I feel like I've adapted to something called the rotation technique. I made it up myself, and it's just like the more I do, the better. And I've accepted that one day a week, I'll practice my guitar. The other day a week, I'll do some writing and all that. But first of all, before we get into it, I'm going to have my production assistant, Alexa, help with timing. Alexa, remind me in 20 minutes to ask the last question.
Okay, I'll remind you in 20 minutes.
All right, nice. The clock is...
I was like, wow, she has a production
right. One day I'm going to manifest acting as if, and then manifesting a production assistant.
Yes. Yeah. Sounds great.
Oh my gosh. So do you have an unfinished project that you always regret to this day of not finishing?
Not really. I know we got this beforehand, and I have been thinking about. The thing is I, as I get older, I've become very pro quitting. As like, I think it can be hard when you like, think of you have this idea of how something will be, and then you have a goal and you achieve that goal, and you're not realizing that like pursuing that goal further is no longer like serving you.
Yeah.
Which is why and like, yeah, there's especially like in American culture, which like I am American, there's a very strong like never quit philosophy.
Yeah.
But like if you don't quit, like you only have a certain number of hours on this earth, and so like you literally can't do all of it. So like you gotta quit. Like literally not quitting is choosing not to pursue something else. Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Oh my god. It's funny you mentioned that. I was just thinking the other day of the battle of consistency and there's a theory, I forget what it's called, I can look it up, but there's a theory that with doing anything there's a dip and it's low, and then if you keep going you surpass that dip. But I was thinking about that theory of consistency and versus listening to your feelings and listening to what your body is telling you. Like, you know what? I'm burnt out. I'm going to quit.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, I guess that also comes down to like sort of the macro struggle of like, I think being a human, which is like balancing like uh accepting yourself as you are and trying
Ooh.
to make yourself a better person. Those are like, you know, two very like difficult things to do at the same time. But yeah, it is true. I don't know why. And I just remember there was an article about J.K. Rowling. It
Oh,
had nothing to do. I
yeah.
don't agree with her on gender
Yes.
and like a lot of stuff. But anyway, but I remember. I don't know why I remember this so clearly, but I do remember a magazine article being like, if you feel like particularly frustrated, that means you're on the right goal, because J.K. Rowling felt particularly frustrated while she was writing.
She feels frustrated about a lot.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah. Well, she doesn't have any
separating her
yeah.
problematic
Yeah. Yeah.
situation. But yeah, so JK, or so that quote in general is just saying, like, you're on the right path if you're feeling frustrated. Is that kind of what it's saying?
Yeah. It's the, you know, and I have
Yeah.
we're both in a very it's comedy is a very like non-linear field. I think a lot of creative fields are like this. I have a friend, I'll shout him out. You guys can give him a follow, Matt Menard, who comes from a very corporate background where, you know, there are goals. Can you still see me?
There we go. Now, it
Oh,
comes in. Now I
yeah,
can.
okay.
Yeah.
I hit the screen. We're, you know, like in a corporate setting, there are goals, and if you meet those goals, at least theoretically, you're supposed to like reap rewards, and you can see achievement
Yeah.
is sort of linear in a sense, right? Like it's, whereas with comedy, you can just like hit your head against the same wall for like a year, and then all of a sudden you'll just wake up and you'll be like so much better than you were.
So true.
And it's so, yeah. So I want to be clear. It's decisions are like hard to make, but I do think if there's something that is making you unhappy and you're pursuing it because you don't believe in quitting, I do think you should think about like if you're happy, like
Ooh.
like what are you giving up by continuing to pursue that goal? Are there other goals that would really serve
Right.
you?
That is so interesting. Yeah, it's such a good question because yeah, on one hand, people like hustle culture. They're like,
Right.
give up the time partying. You need to, and then it's like on the other hand, like what? My mental health is lacking. I haven't had fun.
Right.
I don't talk to anybody because I have to work, outside of a day job on
Right.
projects, I'm not happy. And yeah, so there's two sides. It's constant battle, but I agree, like it's important to listen to, like, how do I feel right now?
Right.
Oh, I know. For me,
Yeah.
I kind of like, I'll be excited about something, and then I think that what's the point? That area when I'm in, what's the point? That now I am trying to challenge myself to keep going,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I have quit on a few things that I deeply regret, but it's a constant battle. Oh my gosh. Man, now you're crushing it on social media. Like on Twitter, you have a lot of followers. TikTok, you're posting every day. Like, I mean, Instagram, do you feel like how do you be consistent, or do you not be consistent? Sometimes you need to like take a break a little bit from it.
I mean, uh, yeah, social media is like, yeah, it's so tough because these platforms are like great for getting exposure and connections and things, but they're also like designed to make you feel sad,
Oh, yeah.
so that you buy things. So it's like, because you're not paying for them, you know.
Oh, yeah. I can't tell you how many courses I'm addicted to, online courses, and on Instagram it'll be like, "Do you lack self-confidence?" And I'm like, "Yes." Or do you I bought so many courses, and I'm like, "This is not good. Like my credit card, I should not be putting myself in debt for higher confidence courses." But you're absolutely right. Yeah, yesterday I posted a thing and it got like 3 likes when I was initially excited to check my
Right. Oh,
Instagram. I'm
that
like, I was
feeling.
so excited. I was like, cool, I'm going to check and like have like 11 like, and then it's like 2 people liked in 3 hours. And you know what? I had to take a look at myself and be like, all right, I'm kind of being grotesque right now, in a sense of like, it's getting the best of me. You know what I mean? I'm in the
Yeah.
hands of social media instead of social media being in my hands. Like social media had me at the palm of their hand. Like the engineer person was like, ha ha, let's starve this girl. And I was like, when it affects my happiness, and I'm like, what does it even matter? Like, come
Right.
on. That is a pretty eye awakening thing. And also, the algorithm, sometimes it won't push you out. Like on TikTok, these like TikTok tip people, they'll be like, don't blame the algorithm. But it's like, honestly, yeah, like a lot of times the
I mean,
algorithm just doesn't push your content. And so that's why it's like not
yeah.
personally.
It's also like, we don't know if they're still doing this, but we like have like documented proof that like in the beginning, like TikTok was like suppressing like black creators, like fat creators,
Yeah.
like ugly creator, TikTok, yeah, that one is, I like, because already social media, I think, already took a lot from gambling. Like, it's sort of like the dopamine rush you get from like winning like a million money,
Yes.
and then TikTok added like a gambling layer to it, because
So
like every
true.
once in a while it'll just like push like a video through for a lot, and yeah, it's like I don't have like any traction on TikTok anymore, but I do, like, I do have some on Reels occasionally, so I post Reels, and then, but yeah, it can be tough. Yeah, trying to make it what they're always like, it's a good servant but a bad master, and it can definitely be a master. I think the other thing about social media, like for example, I do Twitter is the platform I do the best on, and the thing that you would think is like if you get to a certain level, then like it matters less, you think. But like really, I think there's the expression, the hedonic treadmill, which is like I don't know, when you're, I think, I'm not a psychologist, but I feel like I'm being very self-helpy today, but that's okay. But like you get like when you start using like Twitter or whatever, you'll get like a few likes and that'll be exciting. And then, but then like you'll start getting used to getting that certain amount of likes. And then if you don't get like X number of likes, you're constantly needing more and more reinforcement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of numbs you to the level you were getting,
Right.
and you need more and more.
Exactly.
It really is like a casino. Like I
Right.
like to go to Atlantic City, or not as much in the pandemic, but pre-pandemic. I born and raised in Jersey. I like to go with my mom, and yeah, there'll be times you win $300, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what if I could win the jackpot? And then
Right.
300 wasn't enough, when really at a point that was half of my rent. I could have
Right.
paid half of my rent, cashed out, and just felt safe with that. No. And then you end up negative $60.
Right.
And it's just like, okay, you know what? It's almost like we got to cut the cord of the thing feeding us, and but we have to cut the cord and take away importance. Like,
right.
like this isn't important. We got our health, that's it.
Yeah. 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 It's a little. Yeah. At the same time, like I'm very grateful for like the platform it's given me and the community it's created. But it is, yeah, it's really something you need to be like on top of at all times.
Yeah. Constantly kind of being like, all right, not important. Now, like, doing comedy, do you feel you have to wear a producer hat and like create little projects or anything to kind of feed comedy? There's like stand up, like we do joke stand up comedy, but then it's weird. It's like comedy has all these random things. It's like, okay, we're social media managers, we're creative directors, we're administrators, we're PR people. Like, I don't know. How do you balance that? Like, okay, we just want to do comedy, but okay, now we have to be 20 different professional career paths.
Yeah. It's tough.
It's too much. Like accountants, we don't say, hey, now you got to be a singer. Now you got to be, a cruise ship captain. Like,
right.
Entertainment industry, we got a big plate.
On top of like not like it's not like if it was if you didn't also need a day job, maybe it would be so much. But it's yeah, it's, I mean, I don't know if I struck the right balance. For example, I would like to start producing when I get back, like at least a monthly show, if not like a weekly show. But it is really tough, like with the admin involved in that, because I was just like, I didn't get into comedy so that I could like be a secretary for other comedians. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. And then I think like I see stuff on Facebook, like some comedians will be like, if you're a show producer, make sure, and it's like, oh my God, like I am then worried about, like, of course, naturally, comedians, I want their best interest. But the
Right.
thing is, it's like, I'm trying to learn how to put together a show to feed in that ultimate goal of comedy. And I'm
Right.
worried about upsetting comedians, because we're all just figuring it out, It's like
Right.
show producer, like the comedians that do produce shows well, like, oh, that's a great setup. But
Right.
it's like, as comedians, like, we've got that creative specialty. Like, our niche
Hmm.
is the special.
Right.
That's our niche right there. So we're going in this like business Excel spreadsheet world, and it's hard. And it's
Right.
yeah, so that's an obstacle.
Yeah. And I mean, also, yeah, from a macro level, like, I don't know. I think like it is probably in my best interest to produce a
Yeah.
stand-up show in New York. I also think that maybe there are too many people producing shows that are, but it's like there's a misalignment of incentives, because like for every individual comedian, there are so many benefits to producing your own show, right? Because it like gives you connections. People are more likely to book you on their show if they think you can book you. Sorry, I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but sometimes comedians help each other. So
Yeah.
and I think a lot of shows are produced without like the audience in mind.
Oof.
And
Yeah.
then I think, it's like if somebody's like a big comedy fan and they go to a comedy show and it's not super well produced, like it's not a big deal. But if somebody is not a big comedy fan and they're like, this is their first comedy show, and they go to a show
Ooh.
that isn't well produced, like they're just not gonna go to comedy shows again, right? And
Oh, wow. It's like
sorry,
bad
but
produced comedy shows are hurting all of comedy.
right, but
No,
like I'm not talking about anyone in particular, or
wink, wink. No, okay. No.
no, I like literally I I'm really not. I just think it's this thing, but I don't know. Comedians probably need a union, but like that's
Oh, yeah.
probably way
That's a
down
good
on the
idea.
list. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Right. Huh, that's really interesting. You're
But
right. I
yeah,
mean, actors have the Actors Society or whatever guild.
guilds.
Um,
Yeah.
yes. So comedians should have a guild, but who's gonna organize? That's a problem. One comedian would have to be organized enough to like do that
Yeah, and
stuff.
then we'd all have to like agree with them, which I don't know.
Right.
You'd be
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
disagree.
Meetings would just turn into a roast battle or
Oh my
like
god,
an open mic.
the group chat, everybody's just like trying
Oh
to
yeah.
impress each other in the group.
Oh my gosh.
Here's a reminder.
Okay.
Ask the last
Okay.
question.
Thank you, Alexa. My very well behaved. I kind of use this now as like a F the patriarchy. Like I kind of like being like, Alexa, bring me my water. Just to feel what it feels like to say that.
I like it. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Alexa, well done. You are dismissed. Anyway, yeah, anyway, that's me. That is me imitating how I think an executive would be in the 1950s. You are dismissed, Alexa. Goodbye.
You
Anyway,
also look very nice in that dress.
yes. Oh my goodness. So we are on the last question.
Okay.
Now, I don't know why I like to ask this question every episode, but if a genie granted you $10 million and said, okay, this is yours, but you have to use it for something creative to
Okay.
make a project, how would you spend that 10 million?
I think it's a great question. I mean, I'd probably spend five. This my budgeting on this is going to be way off, but I'd probably spend like 500,000 of that going on like a world stand-up tour. But
Oh,
like,
that'd be cool.
yeah, but I don't think that would cost-
Pyrotechnics. There's no
Yeah.
stand-up comedy show with pyrotechnics. I think that would be like sick. Like a heavy metal like show with pyro.
Yeah. And then yeah, I mean, I guess I could use all 10 million of that because that is sort of my main. I think the main area I want to get into right now is stand up, and then but I guess I would probably get a bunch of friends together and put together a web series, probably like a dramedy sitcom thing.
Yes. That's my
Yeah.
favorite genre, dramedies.
Yeah, it's great. It's so weird that humanity lived so long without them, but
Right.
yeah.
So true. Oh, that sounds so fun. Cause yeah, I mean I always dream about like I tried to have a web series. It was called Babe and Babe, back in the day. And yeah, that's a whole other thing too. It's you gotta do PR, the editing and all that. So like to be able to hire a producer or like a co-producer, a co-director, a professional editor, cinematographer to just make it nice, like that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to join. And
Yeah, thank you for having me.
and where can people find you online and subscribe to all your stuff?
Yeah. You can find me at Arielle Dundas. That's my name, I think, on all platforms. So Twitter, which is where the magic happens, I guess. But if you're not on Twitter, I have Instagram. I have a TikTok. If you really want to see my TikToks, you're probably turn notifications on because I don't think the app likes me very much right now. But
Same.
if you're truly dedicated, you can go for it. And I'm just now starting to get into YouTube, so you can follow me there also.
Heck yeah.
Yay.
Arielle Dundas on YouTube.
Yeah, I think If you
Cool.
Google it, if you're in YouTube and you search Arielle Dundas, I will come up.
That's cool.
I'm gonna double check that right now.
No, I'm sure if you put like your name in a hashtag, it'll pop up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thanks everyone for watching the Unfinished Projects podcast. Everybody, give Arielle a follow and enjoy your day. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. Follow, subscribe, and leave a good review if you can. Have an awesome day, sending you a magical amount of safety, health, happiness, and money.